Hey guys, okay, so today is the next installment in my favorite books series, all relating to any sort of menstrual book or female book. But first, I just want to say that I cracked 2,000 subscribers last night, and 2,000 in the realm of YouTube isn't that much, but for me it's so many because when I first made my YouTube channel and I made my first video, I was like, I'll be lucky if I get like 10 subscribers. And I have like on my phone, I'll have to insert a picture if I can, of when I hit 50 subscribers. Like I took a picture and sent it to someone because I was like, oh my God, look, I hit 50 subscribers. So 2,000 and counting is overwhelming, and I had made a goal of 5,000 subscribers for this year, but I think I'm going to surpass that at this point because I don't know, it's not about the subscribers, but I just want to thank you guys so much for coming along this journey with me and thinking what I'm saying or telling you about is important, because I think it is, and I'm glad to know that other people think it is important too. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, shameless plug, subscribe down below. I put out 2 videos every week, usually Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they're just all a range of mostly female related. I've been starting to interject some other things like minimalism or zero waste. Those are things that I'm just really interested about, and it seems that a lot of people out there are interested about them too, so why not share those as well? So today, the book that we're going to be talking about is Taking Charge of Your Fertility by Toni Weschler, and this is my definition of like the fertility awareness method Bible. It has so many facts, and it has so many great facts. Information is what I mean to say, and it takes you through it all. And it's very detailed, but if you want to learn, this is your book. So chapter 1 starts off with fertility awareness, what you should know and why you probably don't. And I think this is, I don't know why I'm holding up because you can't see it because it's too bright. I think this is just this information is so good to know. And this information is, I think, kind of in the pill. And it's in another book I'm going to share, probably the next book I'm going to share. But it's just about why we don't hear about fertility awareness, like why we don't learn to track our cycles. Like we had a 6th grade health class where we learned what was going to be happening to us, and then we had I think our sophomore year in high school, we had like a sex ed class, if you will. But doctors aren't really taught about fertility awareness method in school, and there's many reasons behind this. And I won't go too much into that with this book. That could be a whole video on itself. There's a whole other book about that, wink wink. But it's not, I'll read a little bit here, I'm rambling. One of the most critical and mystifying reasons for why people have rarely heard of it is that doctors are seldom taught a comprehensive version of the scientific method in medical school. It is amazing to think that women who practice the fertility awareness method are often more knowledgeable about their own fertility than gynecologists who are trained to be experts in female physiology. And the thing I like about this book also, and I think it's something I like about many books, is they interject like actual stories of people. So there's a story in here about how this doctor was at a clinic, and she was teaching fertility awareness method. And one of the doctors didn't attend. Eventually she came up and said, this is why I'm not attending. She's like, the fertility awareness method you're teaching doesn't work. Like, I got pregnant trying to not get pregnant on using fertility awareness. And so this lady was like, oh, really interesting. Like, what rules were you using? What actual method were you using? Because within fertility awareness, there are different methods to suit everyone's needs. And then so the doctor is like, what rules? What are you talking about? And so she thought that this doctor thought that FAM, fertility awareness method, was the rhythm method. So there's just this huge misconception in the medical world of what fertility awareness is, and so they're not teaching it. Another really frustrating reason that doctors aren't taught it is not profitable for physicians or major pharmaceutical companies, such as those that produce the pill or IUDs. It is cheaper for women. Fertility awareness is cheaper for women, but it is not profitable for big pharma companies and doctors. So that's another horrible reason they don't teach it. And one of the final reasons that this talks about why doctors don't teach this method is because, and this is maybe, no, it's not the most frustrating, but it's one of the most frustrating. They don't think women can handle it. They don't think they're responsible enough to like learn how to like, they think it's too complicated for women. And I think that every woman is totally capable of tracking their own cycles. If I can do it, you can do it. And the next chapter is taking control of your reproductive health. And I enjoyed this one because it talks about, you know, taking control, taking charge, and so women are often like, the responsibility of birth control and controlling your fertility is placed on the woman, because I think it's because she's the one that gets pregnant, so it's her responsibility. But the frustrating thing is, like, in reality, women, and I didn't know this for the longest time, women are only fertile a couple days out of every month. And they're only fertile because of semen. Like, if it was just them by themselves, they would only be fertile for 24 hours. But when in reality, men are the ones that are fertile every second of every day, all day, every year. And there's a chart in here that goes through all the methods of birth control available today. There are 14 methods of birth control or controlling your fertility for women, and only 3 for men. So another thing that this book goes into is it talks about the different fertility signs, and women just like body literacy, and that's something I preach about all the time, and I think it's just such an important thing. And so it talks through like how girls are raised to think that like their bodies, especially the vaginas or that area, are just like very dirty, disgusting, secretive, mysterious places that like they should barely venture to, only when they need to, and no one else should. And anything that comes out of it is just like bleh. And that's a horrible way to be brought up, and my goal is to change that. Discharge is completely normal. That's something I wish I would have known. Cervical, and like most of the times that's cervical fluid, but it's completely normal. And I remember like growing up and being like, there's something really wrong with me. Like something's coming out of me and it's in my pants, and like I'm not on my period. Like there must be something going on down there. But like I was too embarrassed to be like, I need to go see a doctor. I'm dying. But anyways, like just there's so many things that go in your body that are like really incredible, amazing, like fascinating things to me, and I want them to be fascinating to everyone. And I think girls should, I hear about girls now that are like learning to track their cycles and they're using cycle tracking apps, and I think that's makes me so happy. But yeah, this just idea of girls being raised to think that like their vaginas are like dirty, disgusting places. Like I feel like looking back to when I was educated about the menstrual cycle and stuff, it's like this very like boring instructional version of teaching them something, and there was no connection. Like it was hard to like process. And then they're like, yeah, so you're gonna bleed once a month for about a week, and this means you're fertile, so here's a tampon or a pad, and don't forget to wear a condom. And I feel like that's what it was, and there's no magic to it. And I think there's a lot of beautiful magic to the menstrual cycle. The thing I want from this series, this book series, is just so you guys can realize that there are so many good books out there, and actually interesting books surrounding this topic, if you will. It took me not a long time, but a while to find, like, I have so many books, and some of them are not very interesting or the complete crap. But anyways, there are good books out there full of good information, and they're interesting to read, and there is information out there is what I'm saying. And I'm here to provide even more information. So thanks so much for watching, you guys, and until next time, I'll see ya. Bye. Hey guys, so today is going to be all about kind of answering a question I got about one of my videos about something that I do. So Alexis West asked,